They never saw it coming, but maybe. Neither did you. You trusted them. Let them in, believed the words, the smiles, the promises, and now you're sitting in the wreckage of what you thought was real. But don't flinch, don't break, because this right here is not your downfall, it's your awakening. See, betrayal doesn't break you. It exposes what was weak and shows you what needs to go. The lies, the illusion, the fake peace, all of it. They thought stabbing you in the back would end you, but they were wrong, so wrong. All they did was rip away the mask you didn't even know you were wearing. You feel that? That burn in your chest? That's not pain, that's potential. It's been buried under politeness and silence for too long, and now you're about to become someone they can't control, can't manipulate, and definitely can't stop. This isn't the end, it's the beginning, and they just made the biggest mistake of their lives. You saw it coming, you just didn't want to believe it. The signs were there, the hesitation, the fake smiles, the half-truths. But you gave them the benefit of the doubt, didn't you? You convinced yourself it was nothing, that they wouldn't do you like that you were safe, that loyalty still meant something, but they did it anyway. They looked you in the eye and still went behind your back, smiled while they twisted the knife, like it was easy, like it meant nothing. You were out here giving your best, showing up real, raw, honest, and they were playing a whole different game, one you didn't even know you were part of. They talked about you when you weren't there, left you out, made decisions without you. They thought you wouldn't notice, that you'd stay silent, that you'd swallow it like always. But something cracked this time. Something snapped. This betrayal, it hit different. Because this wasn't just a mistake. This was calculated, intentional, personal. They knew what they were doing. They saw the good in you, saw the loyalty, the trust, and they used it. They used you. And maybe the worst part, you still wanted to believe it was an accident. You still looked for a reason to forgive. But deep down, you knew. You just didn't want to face it. Now you have. Now it's clear. The ones you protected were the ones plotting behind your back. The people you lifted up, they were the first to push you down. You were never safe, not with them. And now that truth is seared into your bones. They showed you who they really are. Now it's time to show them who you really are. At first it hurt. Of course it did. You sat there in silence, replaying every moment, every conversation, every time you defended them, stood up for them, believed in them. And now, all of it feels like a lie, like the world tilted and nothing is what you thought it was. But somewhere in that pain, something shifted. It wasn't just heartbreak anymore. It became clarity. The fog started to lift. You saw things for what they really were, not what you wanted them to be. The silence wasn't peace. The loyalty wasn't mutual. The respect you gave wasn't returned. And just like that, you woke up. You started connecting dots, all those little comments that felt off, the way they changed when others were around, the moments you thought you were overthinking. Turns out you were underestimating, not just them, but yourself. You were asleep, comfortable, blind to the truth. But betrayal doesn't let you stay asleep. It shakes you, rips the comfort away, forces your eyes open, and now that they've torn the blindfold off, you can't unsee what's real. You see the games, the lies, the manipulation. You see yourself too, the version of you they tried to keep small, the version you outgrew the second they crossed that line. This was your breaking point and your breakthrough. You don't see them the same way anymore. You don't see yourself the same way anymore. That person who stayed quiet to keep the peace, gone. That person who waited, hoped, trusted without question, gone. You've changed, and there's no going back. There's a fire in you now, and it's not from rage, it's from realization. All that pain, it didn't just hurt, it ignited you. Something inside woke up, something powerful, something hungry, and it's not backing down. You've felt weakness before. You've known what it's like to be overlooked, underestimated, used, but not anymore. That part of you died the moment they turned their back on you. Now what's left is sharper, cleaner, stronger. You're not carrying hurt, you're carrying fuel. They thought they were breaking you. What they really did was build you. Each lie they told, each time they talked behind your back, that's more weight you've learned to lift. They didn't destroy your spirit, they revealed it, and now it's burning brighter than ever. You don't need their help, you don't need their approval, you don't need anything from them. You've got yourself. That's the difference now. You're not waiting to be saved. You're not hoping for closure. You are the closure. And with every breath you take, you're getting more focused, more dangerous. They were afraid of what you could become. Now they should be terrified of what you already are. You were never weak. You were just calm, and now the calm is gone. Now you're fire. You're not crawling back. You're rising. Slowly, steadily, without noise, but with purpose. The fall didn't end you. It woke you up, and now you're building from the ground up. But this time, no one else gets to lay a brick. This time, it's yours alone. You're done explaining yourself, done justifying your value. You're not asking for permission to exist anymore. You're taking up space boldly, fully, unapologetically. And if that makes people uncomfortable, let them squirm. You've played small long enough. They don't get to define you now. You do. You've learned to trust your instincts. You've learned who's real and who only claps when you're down. You've learned that peace without honesty is just silence, and you're done staying silent. The version of you that needed their validation, gone. They mistook your kindness for weakness. Big mistake, because now you're stronger than ever, and colder too. Not bitter, just focused. Not angry, just awake. They don't realize it yet, but they handed you the blueprint. Every mistake they made was a lesson. Every betrayal was a page in your manual. And now you're building a version of yourself that can't be torn down. This isn't revenge. This is rebirth. And this time, when you rise alone. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. Now the path is clear, and it's not paved with forgiveness. It's lined with focus. You're not looking for payback. You're not wasting energy chasing them. You're moving with precision, and every step forward is a strike they'll never see coming. This isn't loud. It's not messy. It's silent, calculated, unstoppable. They thought you'd lash out, lose control, spiral. But that's not who you are anymore. You've outgrown chaos. What you carry now is discipline, strategy, purpose. You're not swinging wildly, you're aiming. And when you hit, it'll land where it hurts. They laughed at you once, ignored you, counted you out. Let them. Let them keep talking. Let them rewrite the story in their heads. While they're busy running their mouths, you're building momentum. While they gossip, you're grinding. And when the dust finally clears, they'll realize they were never the main characters in your story. Just footnotes, faded and irrelevant. You've got a different kind of power now. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything. the kind that moves in silence and hits like a storm. You're done trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. They declared war when they betrayed you. Now you're on the warpath, but this time you're walking it alone, with your head high, your eyes forward, and your silence louder than any words they'll ever speak. You gave them too much time, energy, trust, pieces of yourself you can't get back, but now you don't need them back because you're not rebuilding what was lost. You're reclaiming what was always yours. This isn't about getting even. It's about getting clear on who you are, clear on what matters. You see it now, all the ways you gave and they took, all the ways you compromised and they stayed comfortable. That stops here. You don't owe them anything, not your silence, not your patience, not even your thoughts. They had their chance. They had your loyalty, your kindness, your faith, and they threw it away like it was nothing, but it wasn't nothing. It was everything. And now that it's gone, they'll feel that emptiness in ways they never expected. You're not seeking closure anymore. You are the closure. Every time they doubted you, you grew. Every time they left you out, you leveled up. You didn't shrink, you sharpened, and now you're reclaiming it all. Your voice, your power, your pride. You're not just taking it back, you're taking it higher. No more waiting to be chosen. No more explaining yourself to people too small to understand your vision. You're not chasing them, you're choosing you. And that's the most dangerous move of all. You're not who you used to be. That version of you, the one who forgave too easily, waited too long, stayed too quiet, is gone. Left behind in the wreckage, in their betrayal, in the silence you finally decided to break. What stands now is different. You're focused, cold maybe, but only to the people who froze you out first. You're not cruel, you're clear, you're not bitter. You're aware. You see through the games now, through the masks, the empty apologies, the fake support. You see everything. And that clarity, that's your power. You're not playing defense anymore. You're on the offensive now. They wanted you soft, scared, stuck. They wanted you predictable, the same version they could manipulate, but you've evolved, you've rebuilt. Not with permission, not with help, but with grit, with pain as your hammer and truth as your foundation. They won't recognize you now. That's not your problem. You're done proving yourself. You've done enough. And if they think the old you is still in there somewhere, let them look, let them search. They won't find what they broke. That person is gone. And what's left is something they never saw coming. You're not rebuilding to be accepted. You're rebuilding to become untouchable. And you're almost there. They thought you'd disappear, fade away, collapse under the weight of it all, but you didn't. You got quiet, not because you were broken, but because you were calculating. They took your silence as surrender. Big mistake. You weren't finished. You were just getting ready. And now you move differently, smarter, stronger, with purpose in every step. You don't announce your plans. You don't share your thoughts. You let your results speak. And when they finally see it, when they see who you've become, they won't even know where it came from, but you will. Every setback, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, it led here to this exact moment, the moment they realized they didn't break you, they built you, not out of love, but out of lies. Not by lifting you up, but by pushing you down. And that push, that was all you needed. You're not here to argue. You're not here to explain. You're here to execute quietly, efficiently, ruthlessly. You're not lashing out. You're leveling up. And the impact will be so loud, they won't even be able to pretend they didn't hear it. This is the part where the tables turn. You didn't choose the fight, but you'll finish it. And when it's done, when the dust settles and the noise fades, they'll finally understand the truth. You weren't their victim. You were their wake-up call. This isn't about revenge. It never was. This is about evolution. You didn't rise to hurt them. You rose to heal you, to take back everything they tried to strip away. Your dignity, your power, your voice. And now you stand tall. Not because you won, but because you refused to lose. You've learned the lesson, the hard one, that not everyone who claps is on your side, that not everyone you love will love you back. And that's okay, because now you love yourself enough to walk away, enough to rebuild, alone, stronger. You're no longer begging to be seen. You're no longer hoping they'll understand. That part of you, the part that needed their approval, is gone, replaced by someone who knows their worth, who holds the pen, who writes their own story with bold lines and no apologies. Let them watch. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them whisper your name like a warning. You are no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You're the one choosing. You walk different now, head high, heart guarded, mind clear. You don't owe them an explanation. You owe yourself a future, and you're already building it, brick by unbreakable brick. They thought they ended you. All they did was set you free. You were never the weak one. You were just sleeping. But now you're awake. Now you're alive. Now you're unstoppable.